Okay, so in this video I'll show you what to do after you have installed WordPress on your domain. So if you're on this screen, then you just need to click on this link that says administrative URL, or if maybe by some other reasons you don't see this screen or you don't have this link, or you want to log in onto your WordPress website. The default login for WordPress is the name of the domain, which in this case is going to be digitalvegatv.yourtechit.co.za. Then you put a forward slash and you say wp-admin or wp-admin like this. Then what you just do is you click enter. So Digital Vega TV, remember the domain, and then you put the wp login. Okay, then you'll be asked for the email address. This is the administrator's email address, or the username and the password. So for this video we already have our admin username as admin. Just put your admin username, and also with our password that we created earlier on, you put your password. If it's your machine, then you can just say remember me, is fine. So then what I'll do is I'll click on login. If you use this link, you'll be logged in automatically, so without being asked for your login details. So we'll click on login, and now we are logged into WordPress. So this is your WordPress screen. I'll save my password, it's fine. So what you will see first of all is your dashboard, which is having this default link here. And on your dashboard there is quite a lot of noise that happens because there are some plugins that send you notifications, or some marketing, and also there's reports from WordPress and all that. So what I like to do first is I like to click here on screen options, and then it will show me all these things like screen elements. These are called screen elements. All these things that you see down here are called screen elements. So what I do is I like to untick all of these things. I untick them. Leave site healthy because it will tell you if there are any problems with your WordPress. For an example, say your PHP versions need to be updated, or your PHP version need to be updated, then you can use the site healthy status to have that information. Also leave activity as well, and remove all these other things. Then now you can manually close these. Site healthy says there's no information yet, and I like to close this one and leave site health as it is. Now you have a clean dashboard, because if you've got a lot of information, then you might be confused, right, as to what you are looking at. So just make sure that you untick all the unnecessary things that you don't need and only leave all what you need. For an example, if you've got thousands, or maybe not thousands, maybe 20 or 30 plugins, then you all of them, they might be showing information here. This one is marketing, they are running some campaigns and all that, product activation. Maybe if you've got some spam detection, you will have also all that on your screen. So it's easy to get overwhelmed. So that is the first thing. Make sure that you clean your dashboard. Remember, screen elements, and remove all the things that you don't need. Okay. The second thing that I do is that I come here on posts. Oh, by the way, this is how our website looks now. If you click on Digital Vega, or the name of the site that you put, it will say visit site. Then this is how your website looks right now. So everyone else who tries to access this site, if I try to access this site on another browser, okay, what is this? Blah blah blah, it's just I got it. So if I try to access this on another browser, you can see that this is how our website looks very bad right now. Yeah, and basic. So what I do is that I click on posts, then I delete the default post here. You don't want this hello world post because it's a default post. If you are going to be having maybe a blog and all that, then you want to add new posts, but we'll see that later on. Okay, so I delete pre-existing posts, then I come on pages here, and then I also delete all these pages that are here. The sample page, this one is a draft, it doesn't really matter, we might need it later on, or we might also create our own, so we can also delete it. Okay, that is the first thing that I also do. And then what you also want to do is you want to come here on plugins, and you want to remove all the plugins that you're not going to use. So what I do is that all these default plugins, I deactivate them, because we want to use our own stuff, whereby we understand what we've installed, we understand what's going on within the site. Okay, so you click on all, or you click on this box here, then it will select all of the plugins, because if a plugin is active, you can't delete it, you need to start by deactivating it. So you click on bulk actions, then you click deactivate, you click on apply like this, and then all the plugins are now deactivated. So maybe if you've got a plugin from your hosting company, you might want to leave it, but if it's for a client, then you just want to deactivate everything and start to install basically from scratch. So again, after deactivating, click on delete. Okay, then you just apply like this. Say okay, now it's deleting like every plugins. Okay, so that is another step. Then the next thing you want to do is also you want to remove the themes that you are not going to use. Okay, so you can see that we've got about 4 themes and only one theme is active. So remove all these themes because they are unnecessary, they just consume space on our server. We'll remove them, then we'll remove them like this. You just click on a theme, then there's a button that says delete on your bottom right corner, right? But here it's you won't see it anymore because this is only one theme that is left. Okay, so if we click on themes, you'll notice that you've got one theme left. Okay, so that is the first step when it comes to cleaning WordPress. This is the cleaning step, right? Again, the next step is to also come here on tools, right? Let's see, is it on tools? Oh, sorry, on settings. Then you click on settings like this. Remember the information that we entered earlier on when we were setting up the domain on the cPanel, where we wrote Digital Vega TV. You can also change this and add information. You can say, like for an example, the tagline. You can say content creation, and maybe you can say let's see if I can get this. Okay, you can say maybe YouTube videos, something like this. YouTube videos like this, right? You can, and also here you can edit this and say Digital Vega TV and write whatever that you want to write here. Okay, this also acts as your default logo. So if your website doesn't have a logo, then this becomes your default logo. So this is what you want to do. You can again modify the administrator email and put whatever that you want to put. And membership, if you are creating a website that allows people to sign in, maybe it's a community website. A community website allows people to register and they become users, right? Like Facebook is a community website, people register and then they become users on that site, right? Then you want to check this option. But if it's just a business website, then this option, you don't need to tick this option, because what I've noticed is that if you tick this this option here and then it's just a normal website. Maybe it's a website for an electrician, and you tick this option, then you have a lot of people trying to spam your website, becoming users. And the danger part is, if you say new user, default role is an administrator, then that means someone comes in with full rights to modify your site and to even delete the other users. So make sure that by default people they register as subscribers, because the subscriber basically they don't have any privileges or rights on your site. Okay, so they can just only view the content that you post on the website, but they can't delete anything. You see, so make sure that if you are going to have a website that people subscribe or people become members, then you tick this, and then the default role is a subscriber. Okay, and also here you can change the time zone based on where you are. Okay, so maybe for this or you can leave it also as it is by default, it's okay. Let's see, Africa, then we can just choose Johannesburg like this, and the date format is up to you, you can change it and all this other stuff. Right, the week starts on Monday, and just save here. Come on writing, so we're on general settings. Come on writing, then default post category. If you post a blog post, it's going to be uncategorized by default, right? So this is fine. Rather, here there's nothing that you want to change. Yeah, leave everything here as it is. For now, I think for the purpose of this video, everything, and for simple website, this is good as it is. You don't need to change and modify anything here. Just say save changes. The stage that is important is reading. So also here you will select how many blog pages you want to show at most. This is, or you will see this when you have got blog posts on your website. So here you leave it as it is, and I'll explain what is full text and except later on. But for purpose of simple websites, it's still fine. You don't need to touch anything here. Again, the same thing with discussions. You don't need to touch anything here. And then there is media. On media, again, for the purpose of this video, again, you don't need to touch anything here. It's all about if you want the thumbnail size of your images, you can change how big you want your images to be by default and all that. So, but what is important is permalinks. So permalinks, you want to make sure that it's on post name. If it's not on post name, then the default standard of your pages is going to be digitalvegatv.yotech.it. Then see you've got question mark post 123, which is not like user friendly or a format that humans are used to. So it's better you use post name, because if your page is maybe a services page, then it's www.the-domain-name / the name of the page, just as simple as that is. And then you just say choose. Then the other thing on let's check reading. Okay, it's fine. So you are done with your first basic work on WordPress. Right, the next step now is to install a theme, right? And then after installing a theme, you can also install plugins as well, because now you want to start building a site. Okay, so that will be the next step.